What's up, everybody? It's your boy KidSmoove from Apples&Oranges, and I got another video for you guys. And this video is dedicated to two of my favorite, and of course, in my opinion, two of the greatest rappers of all time, and that includes 2Pac and Nas. Man, these are like some legends. I'm talking about like these timeless music, you know, and everything they did, I feel like it was gold. So obviously Nas is still here, still one of my favorites. Pac, obviously, you know, gone, rest his soul. Now this video is dedicated to 2Pac and Nas because I feel like as them being two of the greatest rappers of all time, sometimes I think about 2Pac, like, man, what if this dude just lived like 2 more years? What if he made it to 1998 or something like that? I feel like him and Nas would have had like a song together, you know what I mean, a feature, and they could have dropped like something classic. And because when 2Pac was living and when Nas was out back in the day, 2Pac and Nas actually had a few run-ins, and they weren't all bad, you know. And their beef, I'm sure, if you guys are familiar with it, was actually more of a misunderstanding than anything. But their story does go back, and there's a lot of key features that that 2Pac and Nas were involved in. Now, if you guys are familiar with 2Pac, obviously, if you're familiar with Nas, you guys obviously know there was this record 2Pac had on his album, the Machiavelli album, which came out a couple months after he passed. He had this song called Against All Odds, which everybody knows he was going after everybody, but he did diss Nas. He did diss Nas with the lyrics like, this little nigga named Nas think he live like me, talking about he left the hospital, took 5 like me. You live in fantasies, nigga, I reject your deposit. We shook Dre punk ass, now he out of the closet. He had also some few other lines later on in that song. And that was at Nas, and that goes back. And the reason why actually Nas was actually dissed and Against All Odds, and also there was like some slight references to Nas in the song of Bomb Verse on that same album, the Machiavelli album, and people wonder, oh, why you know, Pac dissing Nas, you know what I mean? Believe it or not, 2Pac actually liked Nas, admired Nas, liked the style and everything. Thought he was one of the few people that was in New York, as far as rappers back at that time, that he was really he had admired. And the reason why they actually had an issue, I remember just after, I want to say, Hit 'Em Up came out and whatnot, Nas, 2Pac ran into Nas at the House of Blues, and he told Nas that, hey, you know, this beef, you know, it has nothing to do with you, it's just me and Biggie and all this stuff. He's like, I don't want you involved in it, this is nothing against you. And I was like, yeah, I'm not. He's like, I'm not even a part of this, you know what I mean? I ain't got nothing to do with it. You know, they shook hands and whatnot, dapped it up, called it a day, you know. And I was, you know, did his thing at the House of Blues and whatnot. And then what happened was, I think a few weeks later, Nas's album, It Was Written, that album, which included it had Sweet Dreams Are Made of These, and If I Rule the World. It had those songs, and that album came out, and 2Pac felt some type of way because in the song The Message, it kicked off the song, he kicked off the verse like, fake thug, no love, you get the slug, see before gusto. And 2Pac took offense to that because 2Pac obviously was repping thug life. He was like, you know, always used like the thug mentality, so he thought that was a direct shot at him. And 2Pac felt offended, like, yo, when he seen me at the House of Blues, why didn't he tell me he had a record where he was going at me, you know what I mean, blah blah blah. And so 2Pac was like, all right, whatever. And so 2Pac, that's why 2Pac went and recorded those lyrics for Against All Odds. But the thing was with that, later Nas would explain that those lyrics weren't actually for Pac. They were actually for Biggie. But looking back during this time, these were some interesting times, and especially for 2Pac and Nas. Nas was actually the hottest dude out of New York at the time. Like Biggie didn't drop an album yet; he was still doing features, but Nas was bringing platinum albums, to New York. So he was a hot name at the time, and people remember that song "Street Dreams Are Made of Thieves." That beat was Street Dreams used the same beat as Tupac's All Eyes on Me. All Eyes on Me. Yeah, they used the same beat. And Tupac didn't even have like a issue with that, because obviously Tupac's album came out first. It came out in February. And then Nas' album came out, I think, in like June or July of that year. And Street Dreams and All Eyes on Me use the same beat, so the beef wasn't revolved around like production on the album or anything like that. You know what I mean? And Tupac didn't seem to have issue with that. Tupac would later take Nas's "If I Rule the World," imagine that beat, for the song called Troublesome 96. Troublesome. La 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 la, all you niggas die. He did the Troublesome 96 using Nas's beat, and that was a quote, minor shots. Those were like warning shots at Nas. It was just a rap song. Those were pretty much warning shots at Nas, because he did that immediately after it was written, came out and whatnot, and then he heard the Fake Thug No Love. So he did Troublesome 96, which didn't directly diss Nas. He was just riding East Coast and repping West Coast on that beat, which was New York based. So what happened was, in August of 96, Tupac was recording a Machiavelli album, or recording songs for it, and Against All Odds was one of them. It's when he went at Nas with those this nigga named Nas, I think he lied like me, talking about he left the hospital to, he said that didn't actually officially come out yet. So once again, Tupac and Nas ran into each other at the MTV Awards in 96, September 96, right? And it was Tupac in the whole Death Row camp, and Nas and his boys and whatnot. And Tupac went to Nas and told him, hey, I appreciate like the whole song, like the message and stuff like that. He said he pretty much just letting them know about how he felt, and he was letting them know, hey, I got a record coming for you. Against All Odds is coming out on his album, letting them know. And Nas told him that the message wasn't for him. It actually wasn't for him at all. It was actually for Biggie. Nas had a lot of subliminals for Biggie, because Biggie had a lot of subliminals for Nas. There's a story between Biggie and Nas where they were going at it because Nas felt Biggie was biting him and whatnot, and Biggie was claiming he was the king of New York, and stats showed that Nas at the point really had it. And so they came to an understanding, and Tupac was like, all right, they shook hands, and he was like, you know what, I got another project coming, One Nation, where I'm trying to unite this whole East Coast West Coast thing, whatever. And he was like, Tupac actually told Suge Knight, after him and Nas met up, that he was going to remove the lyrics that he had towards Nas and replace it with somebody else or something like that. I'm pretty sure it would have been Jay-Z. But he said his idea, if he would have, if he would never went to Vegas, you know what I mean, those Against All Odds probably wouldn't have, and Bomb First wouldn't have any Nas mentions on there. He probably would have threw another a rapper in there or another person in there. But he had actually, whatever issue he had with Nas, they actually got to squash it before Pac died. You know what I mean? That was actually the end of it. But it was the crazy thing about them two is just that the borrowing of beats, like Nas using the All Eyes on Me beat, Tupac using If I Rule the World beat after they release. And another story between Tupac and Nas that people forget is like Tupac listened to other people's albums and stuff like that. He listened to a lot of people's records, and so Nas, he had Nas's It Was Written album. That's why he took offense to the message. But he also he did one song he did like by Nas was I Gave You Power. Nas had this song called I Gave You Power, which was about a gun. It was him rapping as the gun. And I remember the chorus went like, how you like me now? I go blow. It's that shit that moves crowds, making every ghetto foul. I might have took your first child, scarred your life, crippled your style. I gave you power. I made you buck wow. You know, that was Nas, I Gave You Power. Tupac really felt that song, right? But Tupac was a competitive dude, and he was like, I can do that, but I can do it better. So Nas's I Gave You Power inspired Tupac to do the song Me and My Girlfriend, which was also about a gun. You know what I mean? All I need in this life is me and my girlfriend, me and my girlfriend. And the lyrics to Me and My Girlfriend was also in the eyes of a gun. You know what I mean? It was like as if he was speaking, like if he was the gun, describing it, you know, picked you up when you was 9. You know what I mean? It was that's what inspired Tupac to do Me and My Girlfriend, which was also on the Machiavelli album. And that is also considered a classic. And so there's a lot between Tupac and Nas that coincides from songs that you might have heard and you may not have thought. Like at first it took me a while. I didn't realize Troublesome 96 was the If I Ruled the World beat. You know what I mean? And I didn't realize Street Dreams was the All Eyes on Me beat. Obviously I did at the time, but it was just like I forgot these were all happening during the same time, that same year, 96. And then Nas had I Gave You Power, which was about a gun. Tupac turned around and flipped that to do Me and My Girlfriend. So there's a lot of stuff between Pac and Nas that there was a lot of connections there, and it was eventually going to come full circle. Unfortunately, they never got to record a song together like when Pac was alive, but Nas was able to record the song Thug Mansion, and which was on Nas's Godson album, and of course on Tupac's Better Days album. Some people tried to talk slick and say, oh, I don't like how people that Tupac didn't like is doing songs with him now that he's dead. But people forget there was some beef that were actually squashed. Like, believe it or not, the beef with Chino XL was squashed. The beef with Nas was squashed, and there was he was supposed to squash something with LL Cool J too. So it was a lot of the stuff. Some of the stuff was handled, but I'm pretty sure there would have been a lot more had Tupac got to see some more days here on this earth. But that this is one of the stories that always intrigued me, just the story between Tupac and Nas, and like the beef that was, the connection, the future collabs, the subliminal battles that they were doing on record. You know, it was pretty much there was pretty much 5 records you could refer to that connected Tupac and Nas, and those 5 records were obviously Tupac's All Eyes on Me, Nas's Street Dreams, Tupac's Troublesome, Nas's If I Ruled the World, Nas The Message, Tupac Against All Odds, Nas I Gave You Power, Tupac's Me and My Girlfriend. Those are all connection songs between Tupac and Nas. And and that's the cool thing. They will always be my favorite 2 rappers. But like I said, it's a lot that goes back between those 2 rappers that go back, because they had a lot of run-ins. Like I said, they weren't all bad. And just wanted to give you guys some insight on that if you didn't know that. But this is my Apples and Oranges update, and another Tupac fact. for you guys. This is my story on 2Pac and Nas. Hope you guys enjoy. Please like, subscribe, share, subscribe to the channel. Get us to 500 subs. Appreciate it. It's KidSmoove, baby. We out.